Hey, cats, good morning to you Sunday morning. And just going to put off today's an opinion video here. Won't be too long, all right? I hope you got the patience to hang out for, 7 minutes or so. But, it's again, this is an opinion piece, and just giving my personal take on the state of the social aspects in this country. And, for a little introduction here, I'll let Senator Kennedy give his opinion, which I thought was, pretty comical, but also relevant at the same time. All right, check this out.
Americans do not deserve to be governed by deeply weird, narcissistically woke people who hate George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Zeus, and Mr. Potato Head, who hyperventilate on their yoga mats if you use the wrong pronoun, who think kids should be able to change their gender at recess, who carry around Ziploc bags of kale to give them energy, and who think they are better than us. By the way, to me, kale tastes like I'd rather be fat.
Welcome in, savages. Thanks for coming. Stop's always appreciated. Glad to have you. All right, but the opening there, you got to see old Senator Kennedy laying it on, right? Giving his opinion about, a situation floating around, obviously, throughout the Western world, right? Which is the appeasement of the left and their ever increasingly ridiculous demands and thought process, right? Like he said, which I agree with, America does not deserve to be ruled by weirdos, right? Wokesters. And this isn't due to the average, here we go, FBI, based or red pill arguments against, Abby Normal and all that. But more an argument, to preserve the commonly agreed upon morals and freedoms or belief in thereof that made this country great to begin with, right? I mean, we're talking about a common set of beliefs. Again, this isn't to shut down, or silence dissenting voices or thought, but to make one aware that without those common beliefs to rally around, it becomes, civil war rather than, debate, which we're seeing the country devolve into with, a pretty frightening speed, right? Around the country, you're seeing as far as, the left is concerned, I mean, their standards, reoccurring insurrections all over the country, right? And whether you agree with that or not, whether you call it protesting, whether you call it rioting or insurrections, you're seeing, the increase in number. And that is, due a lot to the fact that the left sees strife and, issue biases in everything possible. I'm sure I'm not alone with the articles that you've seen come out over the inner zones in the last couple years, and it just keeps getting worse. Everything from inanimate objects to dairy to mayonnaise to PB&J alternate lunches being served at school. His fucking white supremacy's racisms, right? But, in reality, it's a mentality of grievance and victimhood. And, anytime that there's, an apology or an acquiescence, the line gets moved further left and, the grievances become more ignorant and ridiculous. Common goals and morals are what made things such as the Magna Carta and obviously the Constitution of the United States. And even if you are one of these rees that constantly dream up fantastical, nonsensical reasons for things to be offensive, this is the greatest country the last bastion for freedom. It is one of the only places left on the planet where you're at least somewhat at this point free to express those ludicrous thoughts and degrade the country that gave you the right to end life. Morals and beliefs are what constitutes a cohesive civilization. And destroying the bedrock of a state to appease petulant, crying children ends in only further grievances and the destruction of that state. So as you watch, the devaluation of the greatest country that's, at least, even if you don't agree it's the greatest, the most powerful country until this point that's ever existed, right? You got people crying over, asinine stuff. And, for instance, the Dylan Mulvaney beer can thing, right? You have a lot on the right melting down. We're not drinking Bud Lights, which I understand you vote with your dollar, right? But the point is, it's like something to melt down over. Then you got the left that's like, I can't believe that guys are worried about other guys' genitals, right? And obviously, it's bigger than all those things. It goes hand in hand with everything I just explained about a cohesive civilization. All right. It's in reality, it's about destroying society to rebuild it and conform it around the most minuscule portion of the population. Right. Even if you go with the most liberal, estimate, we're talking between 1.5 to maybe 5% of the entire population, but they want to rewrite history, destroy literature, media, yada yada, edit books, edit movies, reboot beloved historic novels and series to appease the weakest among us. Okay, the ones that have lived their life with such little strife that they have to search for it and find it in the smallest aspects of everyday life. You know what I mean? Well, what kind of civilization do you suppose can be built out of that? And I know that, you got a lot of these leftists, when you speak to them, if they don't outright say it, just listen to the words that are coming out of their mouths. And you'll see that they have this weird, rainbow, everybody's going to love each other utopia thing in their head where it's everybody for everybody to each their needs, right? But no society has ever functioned that way. Regardless of any noble savage myths or any of the bullshit that these, cultural Marxists like to try to pass off as history lessons or education, anything, related to humans has always had some type of hierarchy. We're not, I guess we're all equal, but some people are more equal than others, right? And that's, of course, when you see the bell curve type of situation kick in. And I know YouTube has kicked off at one point, one of its larger content creators for using the stats because now science is white supremacies too. Right? Unless it comes out of the mouth of, a leftist ideologue. But, it dictates, that geographics really does, affect, mind frame, culture, obviously, and IQ, right? And when you let your country be invaded by exterior forces that think differently, a lower intelligence level, and then on top of it, you're watching the de-evolution of your own population into a grievance cast. Weak men create hard times. You guys tell me what you think. Tell me I'm bullshitting. Argue with me in the comments. Let's debate for real. Don't come on here saying, small-minded sloganeering and, shit like that. If you want to get down, have some original thought. All right? Smell you later.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand.